Hi, I'm Greg Hallett. I want to talk a moment about what's going on right now in the supplement industry, which has really grown, by the way, over the past 20 or so years. Back when I started, the business was, the industry was around $10 billion. Right now, it's close to $100 billion, going to $130 billion by around 2028. So it's a really fast-growing thing. Things have really changed over the past 25 years as well. When I started, a lot of products were actually sold through catalogs, Puritan's Pride. You had the network marketing companies that were selling a lot of that $10 billion. And then you had some health stores. Since then, a lot of the growth has happened in two places. First of all, Amazon. Amazon is now the biggest seller of supplements in the country by a wide margin. And then secondly, you're seeing a lot of DTC. And I want to talk about DTC here for a second. So DTC stands for direct to consumer. Essentially, the idea with DTC is you have a company that makes a product and ships it directly to the customer. So this company is responsible for everything from making the product to marketing the product, and then eventually customer service and all the other stuff that has to do with retail sales. Now, contrast that for a second with the old model. It's not really old because it still exists, but the traditional model, let's say, of retail is something like this. You have a company that makes a product, they sell it to a distributor sells it to a retailer, and a retailer sells it to a customer. So let's just sort of walk through the numbers here. Let's say you have a $10 product. A product costs $10 to actually make. The manufacturer spends $10 making it. They may sell that product for $20 to a retailer. Retailer may sell, not to a retailer, to a distributor. A distributor sells it maybe to a retailer for $32, and then the retailer will mark it up to $50. So essentially a product that's sold at $50 costs only $10 to make. So you have all these middlemen in the area, middle people, whatever you want to say. There's middlemen in the middle that are all taking a piece of the profit or the piece of the eventual retail price. And the idea with DTC is we're going to cut out all these middlemen and get product to the consumer at a better price, better product, better price, better quality, etc. That's the idea of DTC. Now, as it turns out, that's not what's happening. It's actually very different from what's happening. So in DTC, what's happening now is you might have a $10 product, and instead of paying a retailer and a distributor in the middle, what you end up doing instead is you end up paying a ton of money in marketing cost, and that's going to, for better words, big tech. It's going to Facebook ads, it's going to Google, it's going to influencers, maybe on Instagram. All these big companies in the middle have their hands out and are taking those marketing dollars. It's expensive. As a matter of fact, the new middleman really has become big tech, and they take a big bite out of retail. So what's happening now is you have a $10 product, and then you might have $50 to $60 in marketing to sell that product, and then you have operating cost and profit and so on. And so in the end of the day, that same $10 product is getting on the shelves at $100. So instead of a 5 to 1, $50 to $10, now you have 10 to 1. So in other words, the product cost is only 10% of the final selling price. While in the traditional model, it might have been more like 20% of the selling price. That's not good for the consumer for obvious reasons. The consumer is ending up paying more money for a product that is not as high quality. That's not good. That is a little problem with DTC, and that's one of the little dirty secrets of the industry that people don't want to talk about. They talk about cutting out the middleman, but what they don't tell you is there's a new middleman in town. That's Google. Now, as a consumer, here's my best advice, and I'm going to tell you that very frankly, this is how I am when I'm shopping online, not just for supplements, but for anything. In general, I want to avoid DTC companies. Here's why. They're taking a big bite. They're making things sound good. They're offering, you know how you go to the sites and it says save 25% on your first order. That's all baked into the formula. In the end of the day, you're probably paying too much for that product. Not always, but generally speaking, you're paying too much for a product that really doesn't have anything special going for it. Here's what I would do instead. If you see a product in the DTC market that you like, go find a reputable brand, hopefully a brand that's been around a while, that doesn't have to spend all that marketing dollars. Very likely you'll find a similar product, if not a better product, at a better price. Look and shop brands. In the supplement industry especially, the brand is really, really important. It's easy, by the way, to buy into the sizzle. A lot of these D2C companies have really, really beautiful packaging and all this stuff, but in the end of the day, it's not necessarily translating into a better product. If you want a great product, go with a great brand. Go with the brand you recognize. Buy it through traditional methods. Go into the health store and buy it. Go to, well, online, there's lots of places to buy it. I'm almost to tell you, I'll say this about Amazon. If I'm on Amazon buying supplements, I'm buying brands. And a lot of times you can get good deals there, but buy a brand that you recognize. We'll talk about the knockoff brands in a different video. Buy a brand, you're probably going to get more value rather than buying these trendy D2C products that you see online.